Welcome to Science, Health and Healing Library of Children's Health Core. I'm Dr. Majid Ali. The subject of this article is Your Child Hyperactive or Gut-fermented. Hyperactivity, of course, is part of the ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Syndrome. My colleagues at the Institute of Integrative Medicine and I have taken care of a fairly large number of children diagnosed with ADHD. These children usually are very intelligent. They are multitaskers. They process multiple thoughts at one time. They get very bored easily. They are distractible, and sometimes it causes a lot of frustration for children and for teachers. And unfortunately, too many times, needlessly, they are drugged for discipline at school. Gut fermentation is the term that I introduced many years ago. I was looking at the results of urinary organic tests for children with this problem, specifically looking at the excess mold production as reflected in the raised mold toxin levels in the urine. Almost everyone has a little bit of this, but almost all of these children, and also the children with the so-called autism spectrum, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorders, that we took care of, the urinary analysis clearly showed evidence for excess production of mold toxins, indicating yeast overgrowth, mold overgrowth. The terms mold, yeast, fungi are synonyms. So gut fermentation was a term that I coined for, number one, overgrowth of the yeast in the colon, usually coming from sugar and antibiotic abuse, made worse by stress. And then yeast overgrowth causes excessive fermentation. Everybody does have some fermentation in the colon caused by yeast, and that's part of the natural digestive phenomenon. But when the yeast overgrows, now these mold toxins are produced in excess. They will cause inflammation in the colon, they will cause leaky gut state, they will cause microclots and microplaque formation in the circulating blood, and they will overwhelm the liver's ability to detoxify. So these children, their brains are assaulted by mold toxins and related bacterial and other poisons coming from the bowel and not filtered by the liver. And that is one of the mechanisms when I say as roots are to roses, so the bowel to the brain. So if your child has been labeled with ADHD, please have a test done for mold allergy, food allergy, increased gut permeability, that in common language would be increased leaky gut state, probiotics, and if at all possible, do the urinary organic acid, which will dissect out not only the mold toxins, the bacterial toxins, but also the Krebs cycle metabolites, which clearly gives you direct, quantifiable, reproducible laboratory evidence that their energy generation, ATP energy generation in the mitochondria is blocked or impaired. Once you are armed with this knowledge that your child is gut fermented, then you can undergo a strategy of controlling this problem, eradicating this problem. And I have several programs on this encyclopedia addressing that problem. Our vision at Children's Health Core is to provide authentic information untainted by corporate deceptions or ideologies. You can forward this YouTube segment to your email, Facebook, Twitter contacts to support our vision. Should you wish to support our vision in other ways, more creative ways, or you want to volunteer some time, your computer time, for example, please send us an email, aliacademy7@gmail.com. Children's Health Core Foundation was founded by my wife Talat and I some years ago, and I have just given you the mission. Until we meet again, may you be gracious, graceful, and generous in your spirit. Do join me soon, please.